through these crazy times, it's you, you make me sing. You're every line, you're every word, you're everything. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you, you make me sing. You're every line, you're every word, you're everything. You're every song I sing along. You're my everything. So la 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 la. So la 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 la.
Adnan, Nishi, Tiku Chacha, Chachi, Uncle and Auntie, respected guests, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. I'd like to thank Chacha for the opportunity to say a few words here today on the occasion of Adnan's Valima. I'm always a little reluctant about things like this because, to paraphrase Spider-Man, with great opportunity comes great responsibility. I'm hoping that at least Adnan recognises this comic book reference. We've just come to the end of the month of Ramadan, during which, as Muslims, we've had to demonstrate restraint during the daylight hours, and we're granted the blessing of iftar, the meal to break the fast at sunset each day. And at the end of the whole month, it culminates with the celebration of Eid. There are some parallels here. After all, marriage in Islam is a celebration of the coming together of a man and a woman, and relaxation of the restraint that each has practiced whilst they were single. And the Quran states in the 30th chapter, and one of his signs is that he created mates for you out of your own kind, so that you might incline towards them. And he engenders love and tenderness between you in this. In this, behold, there are messages indeed for people who think. Furthermore, in the second chapter of the Quran, it describes within marriage that men and women are as garments unto one another. And as we know, not only does our clothing comfort and protect us from the elements, but it's one of the ways in which we can demonstrate our personality. Husbands and wives fulfill that role for each other, both protecting and comforting, and complementing and reflecting the personalities and characteristics of their spouse. I just wanted to leave you with a final thought, and this it comes from some friends of mine, Mashael and Henna, and they've said recently that success in marriage is not so much about finding the right mate, but being one. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Adnan and Mashael's Valima. Also, I welcome Zaidi family to Islam family. Walima, those who are not familiar with the term, is a reception given by the bridegroom's family to celebrate the wedding. This is the third stage of our four-stage celebration. We, being British Bangladeshi Muslims, have tried to include all the best of all the three cultures. We have tried to include as many parts of the world as possible in this celebration. It started in February this year with the engagement appropriately in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where Adnan, Mashael, who we fondly call Mishi, and the families first met over 20 years ago. Unfortunately, because of the visa restrictions, only Adnan, my wife Nasreen, and I were able to go to Riyadh for the celebration. However, our family in Riyadh, Ghazala, Ahmed, Maliha, Mizna, made sure that everything was done according to the tradition in spite of the shortage of numbers from our side. The second stage of the celebration was in Toronto, Canada, in July. It started with Nikah, the religious ceremony, followed by Mehndi and reception. Though Mishi's parents, our good friends Javed and Anjum, live in Saudi Arabia, Mishi's brother Mustafa and his wife Mahwish, helped by their uncles, aunts, and cousins, made sure that those functions are thoroughly enjoyable. Now is the third stage of the celebration. Our friends and relations are spread all over the world. The fourth stage will be in Dhaka, Bangladesh, on Friday, the 10th of February 2012. This will primarily be for those who could not attend any of these celebrations, any of these three celebrations, but you are all invited. Adnan is our only child. He is very special and he knows it. He is kind, loving, generous son. We are very proud of him. We first Mishi more than 20 years ago as a child. Since we left Riyadh in 1994, we haven't met her again until last year. Within this period, she has grown to a beautiful young woman. She is now the daughter we always wanted, loving and caring, always willing to help with a smile on her face. I would like to thank everyone who has made this celebration possible. Some of them are not here today. There are too many to name them all. To mention a few, Husna, a very good friend of Nasreen, is unable to attend today's celebration, but she will join us in Dhaka for the celebration. Husna arranged the printing of the invitation cards for London and Dhaka function. She also accompanied Nasreen for the wedding shopping trip to Kolkata. My brother-in-law, Ziauddin, is not here today, but he was in Toronto and will be in Dhaka. Without his help, we would not have been able to go to Riyadh for the engagement. Ghazala, Ahmed, Maliha, and Mizna, without their help, we would not have been able to do everything necessary in Riyadh. Selina, Nasrin's cousin, who with the help of her cousins organized our side of the celebration in Toronto. She came to Toronto from Atlanta and hopes she will be in Dhaka too. Montu, my good friend, was always available whenever we needed any help in Toronto. Adnan's friends, who went to Toronto from different parts of the world, Shajil was in China, Bosco was in USA, Andy was in Thailand, Nirupa was traveling in USA and Canada, Marcus went from London. My brother Naim and Mahmoud Appa in London and Nasrin's uncle Banti in Toronto all helped to transport clothing from different parts of the world. Last but not least, my wife Nasrin, without whom none of this would have been possible. Thank you all for your help. I did say at the beginning of this speech that we have tried to include the best of three cultures in the celebration. So to conclude, let us be British and have a toast. May I ask you to stand and drink a toast. To bride and bridegroom, Mishi and Adnan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. For those of you who do not know me from the wedding in Toronto, I am Mashael's close friend and bridesmaid, Hannah Al-Raji. To begin, I would like to say how happy and lucky I feel to be here today at Mishi's Valima. What girl wouldn't love to have not only one gorgeous wedding, but two? Mashael is a beautiful person inside and out, and if anyone deserves 2 weddings and 4 celebrations on 3 continents, it's her. The celebration in Toronto last month was a memory I will hold dear to me always. It makes me so happy that I am now able to continue the celebration here in the United Kingdom, surrounded by the beautiful Haybrook Park. I would like to also say thank you to Mashael's family for everything they did for me during my time in Toronto. I was welcomed so warmly and shown such heartfelt hospitality. From the moment I was greeted at the airport and throughout my time there, I felt I was truly amongst family. It was a great joy to be there to celebrate with one of my dearest friends and sister, Mashael. I was also very pleased to have the honor of meeting Adnan and his parents for the first time, and couldn't be happier for Mashael. Because after only a few moments of meeting them, I could immediately tell they were genuine, warm, and caring people, and I was put at ease that Mashael was going to be in good hands. Mishi and I's story goes back over 10 years ago in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where I was introduced to her through my friend Nora. Soon after, we discovered how many common interests we had. Harry Potter. We became friends instantly. A year or 2 later, I moved to the same high school, and we were able to spend recesses and the end of our school days together. Our love for the art of storytelling, our shared perspectives, and common sense of humor ensured that we would be friends for a long time. Unfortunately, the day came when she had to leave. It made me very sad when Mashael moved to Canada. However, I was so proud of her, and still am, for what she has achieved and what she has yet to achieve. When she returned to Riyadh, it felt like no time had passed at all, and we had become even closer than before. No matter how dull and hot the days were in Riyadh, she was able to create a new world that we could enjoy, full of laughter, conversation, sharing of thoughts and ideas, while sipping on our jasmine green tea. If you do not already know, Mashael is an excellent writer too, and I loved reading every single thing she wrote while in Riyadh. I can't wait for the day when I can see her books being sold for others to enjoy too. During our time there, we also leveled up our baking skills and enjoyed finding new recipes to try. Failure or success, we always had a good time. Since we love recipes so much, I thought I would share a special one with you all. 2 cups of kindness, 2 cups of intelligence, 1.5 cups of creativity, 1 cup of determination, half a cup of stubbornness, maybe more, a stick of carefree, and a pinch of quirky. These are only the basic ingredients that make up the wonderful, dynamic, and ever-evolving Mashael. She is considerate, compassionate, caring, and courageous. Adnan, you're very lucky to be marrying one of my closest friends. She's very dear to me, and I hope that you will understand that the celebration will not end here today. For I will be continuing to celebrate her marriage to you, since now that she's here, I can visit her again after today, and again, and again, and again, to create new memories, discover uncovered treasures, and find new adventures. Finally, I offer my congratulations to you both. Your personalities complement each other so well, and it warms my heart that Mashael has found her perfect match. I wish you all best, and I hope that your lives will be filled with more happy times than sad, more laughter than tears, and lots of cake. Love you guys.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa, thank you very much. Do you want me to hold it? Can somebody pass me the umbrella, please? Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marcus, and I'm Adnan's best man. I have to admit I was somewhat anxious to be here, but after seeing all the very embarrassing photographs up early on the slideshow, thank God they didn't put up any of the videos of the dancing, I feel a little bit more comfortable. This will be my second speech about Adnan, and for the sake of those who were present in Canada, a completely new one. The good news for Adnan is that I won't be telling you about his peculiar driving style, his hairy legs, or the time he kidnapped his roommate from university. The bad news is that Adnan, there is more of a home crowd here, so I can be a little bit worse. Now, I've known Adnan since the age of 13, and while he's generally been a pillar of level-headedness, integrity, and loyalty, there are some other traits which need to be addressed, and a little bit of advice which I need to dispense to Mishi. Adnan is a very protected person, not only protective of the obvious things, like his friends and family, but also other, more mundane things, like his plastic-wrapped comics, or his book collection. If you ever want to watch Adnan cringe, just dog-ear a book in front of him, slowly. But above all things, there is one thing which Adnan is most protective of: his chips, his potato chips. I'm sure there's an extra, oh no, there isn't, but I'm surprised there's not an extra bowl on your table just for you. So word of warning to Mishi: if you ever get a shared platter of chicken at Nando's, don't worry about the chicken or the drinks, just get your chips off that plate and onto your own. Adnan can also be very self-conscious. As you might have seen from some of the slideshows, when it comes to photographing Adnan, the phrase "a deer caught in headlights" springs to mind. Also, as he was doing outside earlier with the photographs, if you ever see Adnan gazing off into the distance on a windswept day, he's not contemplating anything of great importance. He's just looking directly into the wind, making sure it doesn't mess up his hair. Now, Adnan and I have also been incredibly competitive, covering all manners of things from the usual sports and games to who had seen the funniest YouTube videos or who contributed most on a quiz. Our only real arguments have arisen out of this competitive spirit and have usually included Adnan's line of "You're wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. I win." But now to more serious matters. While not strictly a competition, but certainly something boasting the greatest reward you could have, Adnan has found the love of his life in Mishi, and they are now married. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with her a number of times since they've been here, and she is, as she was when I first met her, an incredibly charming, intelligent, and funny person. But as I've also discovered, she shares Adnan's evil sense of humour. Because if you thought pictures of the slideshow were embarrassing, she made me pose 4 photographs not half an hour ago with this heart-shaped umbrella. Also, they're having 4 events over 3 continents. Considering I'm unmarried, I think they're just rubbing it in. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know me, I am Mishi's cousin Fatima. When Mishi first asked me if I would give her speech, I was very touched and honoured. And then I panicked and did what anyone else would do, spend a whole day Googling wedding speeches on the internet. Marcus and Hannah, I'm sure you can relate. Through my hours of research, I discovered that the best speech makers follow 3 simple rules: stand up, speak up, and then very quickly shut up. So I'll try and stick to that. I would first of all like to take this opportunity on behalf of our family to thank Adnan's parents for hosting such a wonderful occasion and for welcoming our family with such kindness and warmth. I'm sure you would all agree at just how beautiful Mishi looks today, and of course not to forget the groom, who also